Allison here again today. Now on first look, this looks like a straightforward gilded card, some die cuts on top, little floral embellishment, but there's a little bit of a twist on this one that I think gives it a nice look. So we'll run you through this one as soon as I show you what dies we'll be using today. First up, we have the Lavish Swirls Diagonal. This is one of our new categories, and these are really, really handy for different things. So we'll be using this one. I have the Kefalonia from the Greek Island collection. Also from the Greek Island collection, I have the Santorini die set. We're going to bring out our finishing touches here with our blossoming branch. And back to an old favorite for our floral embellishment is the classic rose die. And I'm going to be doing some embossing with the Rambling Blossoms embossing folder. Okay, let's move these out of our way and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually some gilding. Now, rather than gilding just onto a regular piece of card, what I've done is I've taken a sticky sheet and I've adhered it to a piece of acetate, clear acetate right there. So I'm just exposing a bit of the adhesive, and I'll put a piece of copy paper underneath us, try and keep it a little bit neater. I'm going to be using the Cosmic Shimmer gilding flakes called Mulled Wine. You can see there's some gorgeous colors in there. Isn't that pretty? So just because I can just take these and touch them onto my sticky sheet, they will adhere. I'm just going to randomly put them around, doing about half of it, and then we'll move and do the other half. Using a piece of Rub It, Scrub It pad, because I feel like this is the best way to move these around and get them adhered to all that stickiness. There we go. And I've got little bits left over, so we'll just move that back a tiny bit more and drag them across. And you can see all that color coming up. What I love about these gilding flakes is you have bigger pieces too that will catch and leave larger spots of your gold, and it's really, really pretty. Let's just put a few more down here and finish it off. You can take all those little bits and just rub them into the sticky sheet there, catching that. And let's put a little teeny bit more, get a hold of that down in that corner. Move it around, pick it up, move it into this corner. There we go. I think we're nice and adhered. Okay. Take off the extra little bits. And the Rub It, Scrub It has got a little bit of an abrasive edge to it, so it's nice to take off all that extra bit, and you can put it back into your pot. Save it for the next time. So save that there. And although I thought this was going to make it nice and tidy, there's still a little bit left on my sheet, but let's just see if we can get those all back in there. That's good. Put the top on. Now, what I want to show you is the side that I put the flakes on is this side, but when you turn it over to the acetate, you get a completely different look to it. So it changes the way that looks. Absolutely beautiful. Really, really like that. And you can leave it just like that if you like, but I thought what I'll do is add a little bit more to it. So we are going to emboss it. So using my Rambling Blossoms embossing folder, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to find the recessed section. That's it. Now, I'm going to just put a piece of copy paper under that just so it won't stick into the embossing folder terribly. Pop that into place, bring our sandwich across, and I've got the gray base plate and the raspberry adapter plate. There's no tan mat that goes into the sandwich when you're using it in the grand caliber. I'm going to run this through. There we go. And let me see what we have. And we're going to peel this back. Now this will take just a little bit of peeling, or you can trim it with a copy paper cutter if you like. There we go. But it keeps it from sticking to your folder. There we go. So you've got a really nice emboss coming through with that. Can you see that? Now, if you want to highlight that, you could actually use a little bit of ink on it too, but you'd have to heat it with a heat tool to dry it off. And that would mean you'd have to use some heat-proof acetate. Okay, so now I've got a really nice background for my card, something a little bit different. So the next thing I'm going to do is cut a diagonal border. So using the Lavish Swirls, what I'm going to do is set this one up, a little bit of tape, and I've got the cutting edge on this separate, so I want to line it up, make sure it's nice and straight. There we go. And pop that into place. There's my top. We'll get this one cut. Now the diagonal dies are a little bit different in that there is a straight edge cutting edge on it, but the ends do not cut. So if you want to make a longer border, then you can line it up and do that. So what we'll do is we'll have to nip them apart with our scissors. So take this piece off and see how it comes out like that. So we're just going to nip this. We're only going to use a section of this anyway. There we go. And a few little bits just need to be knocked out here. In fact, I probably won't use those in, so we'll just get the few in the middle here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just use these across the edge. So a little bit of glue right on the edge, and this is just your Cosmic Shimmer Dry as Clear glue. And I always recommend hitting the little swirly bits so they'll stay down nice. Tiny bit there. That should probably be enough. You can always add in a little more. And then just line it up off the edge, probably right about like, oops, like that. Now, because you've got an embossed acetate underneath that, it's not flat, so you're gonna have to hold it for a second to make sure it's nice and stuck. Give that a second. And we'll put a little bit on this one. Just along the edges, hit the little inside swirls. There we go, that should probably be enough. And let's turn this one the same way. And I'm just going to eyeball that right about like that. And hide that, and hold that into place for a second. There we go. Oop. A little bit messy, let's see if I can get that glue off there. Okay, so once that's nice and stuck, you're just going to take your scissors or paper cutter and trim off the extra bit. There we go. Oh, we're still having a little bit of a sticking issue right there. But I've got one done ahead of time, so I just want to show this to you. There we go. So you can see how you've got a really pretty border. You can use those diagonals just to almost look like a wrapped present around the background of your card. So going forward, like I said, I've got one done earlier. So you can see my beautiful background. I've got these put into place. So they're going to frame that focal element we've got. Now, I went ahead and have already die cut this, popped out all the little pieces, but you can see how beautiful that is. Now, I'm just doing a simple white on white center. Bit of mounting foam in the middle. Going to pop that one right into place there. I stamped my sentiment and I embossed it in gold, and I've layered it up with some die cuts. I'm going to put that right into the middle. So my focal element is created there. And I just felt like I needed a tiny bit more, so I've used some of the white tulle to seat my flower on. I'm going to put it on with a glue dot. Just pop that into place on the bottom down here. We'll spread that around a little bit. And I've got the classic rose already done up. I put a little bit of glue on it and sugared it with ice snow and let it dry. Doesn't take too long. Put that right there. And I've already cut a couple of these blossoming branches, and as you can see, there's little flowers in here, and they line up beautifully with the die. They're exactly the same size and shape, and you can just add them on top. So I've done a white on white with this, and I think I'll just actually put this into place with a bit of glue. I've got a piece to go here. Just tuck that underneath there, maybe a tiny bit on the back. And I've got a little piece to go down below, just to kind of offset this flower. go. That'll dry into place. And I went ahead and made a couple of pretty stick pins to match. So I will tuck those right into the bottom of that flower so that they won't be sharp at all. And to finish off the card, just a tiny little pearl swirl. And I'm just going to peel the backing off of this very gently. And it comes on a clear acetate, so you just have to kind of work it forward till it removes. There we go. And I'm going to put this right up into the top of the card just to fill up that little corner. Really, really nicely. So there you have it, a beautiful card. It's got a really special background, so when your recipient sees that, they'll feel the texture and they'll see the different gloss from that. So you've got something different rather than just a regular gilded background. Really, really pretty. Wouldn't this be a beautiful wedding card? Well, if you want to see more projects like this and you've come to us through my YouTube channel, pop over to my blog. It's www.partycraft.blogspot.com. I post every single morning and you can see a new project with instructions every day.